So instead of doing as that says...
So my partner and I are doing the Shitbox Rally.
Shitbox Rally revolves around 10 key principles. To celebrate life, to honour those lost, to be selfless, to be generous, to support others, to be inclusive, to get involved, to watch out for each other, to have fun, and to become a rally family. Welcome to Shitbox Rally Spring.
People breaking down all over the place.
The rally is a challenge. It's not a tour, it's not an easy thing to do, it is a challenge, but everyone here is beaming, they absolutely love what we're doing, and they're having a great time.
In a week's time, driving up to Port Douglas, and then from Port Douglas driving to Adelaide, but via the Birdsville Track. Instead of doing it in the perfectly kitted out Land Cruiser or the late model Hilux with the rooftop tent and canopy and fridge in the back and everything else, we're doing it in a 1990 Ford Capri.
Well, welcome to a new Dave's Classic Garage Tours video. This time we're back at my mate Jason's place in country Victoria to take a look at the rest of his project cars, including the Shitbox Capri. He's about to embark on the rally of the same name, where along with his partner Magley and 250 other cars, they'll be attempting to complete the 3,000 kilometres all the way from Port Douglas in Queensland down the Birdsville Track to Adelaide in South Australia. Before that though, if you haven't already, make sure you go back and watch the first episode with Jason, where we get to see his passion for all things early 70s Toyota Crown and a couple of the automotive sculptures he has on his property. And if you haven't already, please consider donating to the Team Artipox attempts to raise $15,000 for the Cancer Council via the link in the description. Right, so
Comair, yeah.
So Comair.
So by Bedford.
By Bedford. I had a Bedford J3 van up until through COVID that I was going to convert into a curry food truck.
Very cool.
But long story. It didn't happen. But
yeah,
right,
this is the Friend B&B.
Cool.
So it's fully kitted out. It's never going to drive again. The engine and everything's been taken out of it.
Yeah.
But I love the old round back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty nicely.
Oh mate, that's cool.
Pretty nicely kitted. Yeah, you're welcome to come stay in. Come check it out.
I've got my swag here.
Yeah, that's it. This is a bit flasher. So this is So I've got friends coming up. They can come and.
Bloody hell! Yeah, this is awesome, mate. Just what you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Needs an air.
Sit on the shitter and take
have
in
a
the view, eh?
That's it.
And have a shower. Bloody hell. You're not plumbed in though, surely?
Yeah, it's plumbed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There's the water, there's gas. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Look at that. Cool.
Still got an ignition key. That's
I've got to leave that. Yeah, definitely. Excellent stuff, mate. So this was an actual Shepperton bus?
Yeah, Shepperton bus.
Oh, that'd be...
we bought it in, my father bought it in Bendigo.
Yeah.
And he lived in it for 7 years, this bus.
Right.
And then, I sort of did a bit of a quick clean up on it. Needs a bit of more of a, needs the roof painted.
Yeah.
Another job.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I know somebody might want this, and I see that on the side. Or a museum that I know up in Shepperton. Okay. So,
You want me to talk?
Dad's an SR.
Yes.
That's a bit different. I've not seen one of them.
That's the old man's
SR.
car.
I've not seen that badging. Oh, all right.
And then in here we've got In here we've got the father-son project, so
All right,
which,
yeah.
as you can see, hasn't got very far. But
I was going to say, this is a few years in the making. Isn't it,
yeah,
this one?
I bought this probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Maybe longer. I'm not sure.
Dad might look at this one.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a 1974 TA22 Celica.
Yeah.
It's better than it looks, actually. It's a good rust-free car from Mildura. Hilariously, it's been 2 other father-son projects that have failed to get to this point.
Right.
So
Okay.
I hope I don't, become the trifecta. But no, I'd love to see this on the road. It was originally Aussie Poo Brown, as you said before, and I'm very pleased that my son's finally come around to turning it back to Aussie Poo Brown.
Oh, right,
so,
cool.
I'd love to see this on the road. It's the motor's good. It just needs paint. And
There's a really great YouTuber called Sarah Untuned. She's in Arizona. Works basically by herself with a bit of help from a couple of other workshops next door coming in. And she does cars up. She's actually doing exactly this model right at the moment.
Yep.
And it's in that sort of, maybe that diarrhea yellow.
Yeah. Diary yellow, Poo Brown. They were good at it.
But yeah, Christ alive, the work that she's putting in on.
There's
on
the
that
brown.
car.
Look at that.
Oh right. Oh crikey, that's even. Yeah, that's proper brown.
That's proper brown.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be wild in that colour. Some nice period gold rims
Absolutely.
or something.
Absolutely, a bit of gold trim line or something like that as well.
That's it. I reckon it'd be grass. So I'd love to, because obviously this is the little brother to my coupe.
Yeah.
So same years, same era.
I can imagine you and
Milo,
Milo, pulling up together at a show.
That's it. But he's he started talking about it again. But 16-year-olds, mate, they're very hard to get over the line on anything, aren't they?
So
it's an original. What is it? 1600 motor?
1600. Yeah.
Single overhead cam.
Yeah.
Still runs.
Yeah.
So.
And what the wheels are?
They're just a mismatch of stuff.
Oh, right.
I quite like these front ones.
Yeah.
And obviously I'd stick with the little wheels, keep it period, little 13-inch wheels, but wide ones preferably. But don't know what we'll do with it yet on the wheel front.
Like I say, watch Sarah. She'll give you the guilts.
That's it. Yeah.
And kick you into gear maybe when you come back from
from the Shitbox Rally.
Shitbox Rally. So let's go and have a look at that. Hey.
Yeah, for sure.
So normally, most people will be doing the journey you're going to be taking on in something like this.
Like this, yeah. This is a very nice. This is a very nice 1989 Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
That was pretty much a single owner that I got, deceased estate. Sorry, it's been sitting here for a while, so I'm just glowing it up a whole heap. Yeah. So it goes. There we go.
Too close.
Hasn't been start for about 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'll just bring it out so you can see it in the daylight because it's in amazing condition.
Yeah. Cool. So this would.
So yeah, 1989, completely original. Still got the well side, which is pretty rare on these.
The well side, tell me about
So the tray back. So usually they're a tray.
Yeah.
Whereas this has got the original well side with the canopy.
Uh-huh.
Twin.
Sorry, well side. Oh, that's the
tub. The tub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the tub. So.
Yeah.
Which is super rare.
Yeah.
Especially in that condition.
I can say you don't never see these. What's it? What's the model?
HJ75.
HJ75.
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Yeah. Oh, with a canopy as well.
With a canopy like that.
No, this was a Grandpa Tourer basically. So it's never been worked. It's only ever been used to travel around Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in incredible condition. I picked it up. It was a good mate of my dad's who was actually doing voluntary euthanasia, and he really wanted me to have this car because he knew I'd look after it and bring it back up and stuff. So, so here we are. But it's cool as like factory diff locks from factory, which is only mostly seen on the Troopies.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, look at that interior.
Yeah.
It's like, it's primo.
Yeah, bloody hell. He did look after it, didn't he?
Yeah. So besides hardcore detailing and replacing a few broken bits, yeah, this is exactly as it's meant to be.
Yeah. Plans for it?
Sorry?
You've got
No,
any plans
not
for a
at
trip
all.
or anything,
I'd like to, but you know, I'm going to take a much more impractical car
Yeah.
instead of this one.
Yeah.
So, which is, yeah.
Well, you'll be after that trip. You're not going to be wanting to do anything for a while, are we?
That's it.
Okay, so
Do you want
let's turn that off and let's go and see what you've chosen instead. So instead of
Yes.
doing as that says,
So my partner and I are doing the Shitbox Rally in a week's time, driving up to Port Douglas, and then from Port Douglas driving to Adelaide, but via the Birdsville Track. Instead of doing it in the perfectly kitted out Land Cruiser or the late model Hilux with the rooftop tent and canopy and fridge in the back and everything else, we're doing it in a 1990 Ford Capri. I'll bring it out for you, mate. We'll drive it out in the sun so you can see it in all its glory.
Oh, Lord. Okay, well, it certainly wasn't like this when you picked it up, was it?
No, so the prerequisite for the Shitbox Rally is you have to do it in a car that you spent a total of $1,500 on. So that includes getting it on the road, everything. So in my wisdom, I thought, well, what's the most impractical car and what's the most maligned car in Australia as a shitbox? And you can't go past the Ford Capri, as we all know.
Tell us, Americans would know it as the Mercury.
Correct. So these were Australia's answer to the Roadster. They're Australian designed. They were in direct competition to the Miata, but they were Australia's Roadster. They were designed and built by Ford Australia in Australia as the saving grace of Ford Australia. They were gonna keep the company afloat and give them a solid future. But yeah, as you mentioned, like the Miata came up at exactly the same time as the Ford Capri. Now we all know the Miata rear-wheel drive, proper sports car. Ford Capri is actually a Mazda 323 or Ford Laser, front-wheel drive, soft suspension, like nothing sporty about it. It's a full hairdresser's car. Had
You're allowed to say that sort of thing nowadays?
I don't know whether you're allowed to say that sort of thing. Well, we're going to say it. So let's roll with it, Dave.
To this overseas flaneur, the Capri is associated with anything but a hairdresser's car. Though I suspect if we go back through episodes of both The Professionals and Minder, one or two hair professionals of the fairer sex would indeed have been courted by the charming William Bodie and Terence McCann in their respective Capris. The Mark I Capris from the 60s were sold both here in Australia and in the US as the Mercury Capri, the same brand under which it imported the Australian-designed and manufactured 1990s version. This one, though, suffered and still does from a reputation as dire as that of the last British mass-produced attempt at maintaining its position in the lucrative US sports car market, the Triumph TR7. But just like the 1970s Wedge, the Capri has its fans, and who knows, may well one day see a surge in its popularity.
And so I just thought it'd be perfect for this project because it's just so inappropriate and so funny.
Have they had one go? The Shitbox has been going for quite some time.
Hilariously, there's another Capri doing it with me. I'm like, so that's okay. No, it's good. We'll have a friend.
Definitely.
So there'll be 2 Ford Capris on this Shitbox Rally.
Yeah.
So this one here, my father found it. We bought it for $400 out of a paddock.
Yeah.
It had been sitting there since 2008.
Right.
It was a mess. Like it had been picked for parts, so it was missing heaps of bit. All the dashboard and interior was out of it. There's lots of shit that was just not right on it. First time I went to start it, it flung the timing belt off in a zillion bits.
Right.
So
Yes, it's presented. I was going to come and see you
I think back in February.
Yeah, exactly. I started building it.
March.
Yeah, I started building it in
Date?
Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But anyway, so it's been one hell of a mission to get it back on the road.
Yeah.
But here we are, and it's going strong. Like
I was just going to say, turn it over then.
Yeah, I've done 4,000 Ks in it now, just to make sure it's going to do it, and
Wow.
hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah.
And our theme, we're Team Arty Box, so I'm getting a bunch of contemporary artists to decorate the car. So we've got David Bromley on the roof, and Nick Ives has painted some donuts, Peter D. Cole. So all really well-known artists are contributing to the mad decoration of the car.
Yeah.
And modification-wise, can't do anything to the suspension without spending big bucks. So it's totally stock in the suspension department.
So we were. I remember asking you, you're going to raise it up or whatever.
I was hoping to,
But there was issues. It wasn't cost issue. That was it.
Look, if you've got budget, you can do anything.
Right.
But the problem with these is the struts are designed in such a way you can't put any higher profile than the 65s I've got on it now.
Right.
So you can't bring it up by putting a high profile tyre because it hits the strut.
Yeah.
We experimented with putting spacers in the coils, but then that threw the steering geometry out so badly.
Right.
So we just gave up on that, and instead I've armour guarded the underside of it. So it's got a massive bash plate on the front, and
Tyre wise, what?
just stock. They're slightly higher. So this came out with 60 profiles. So we put 65s. That's as high as we could get. But we were sponsored by Bridgestone in Kyneton, which was cool. They gave us a free set.
Nice
one.
Thank you, Bridgestone.
So that was great. Do you like my toilet drain snorkel?
I was going to say, there you go.
That's particularly classy.
Has it purpose?
Yeah,
yes, it definitely does.
So we took it out on a 4-wheel drive track and did a creek crossing and nearly killed it because the intake is right there.
Oh, shit.
So now I've rerouted it and put a snorkel on it, so we'll get clean air, and because there are a couple of river crossings on the journey. Yeah. So spotlight's bigger than the car. Yeah. And it's going to be fun.
It should be fun. Just going up there is going to be turmoil in this, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll go straight up on the highways, so not so bad. But
how long does that take to get up there?
We've given ourselves 5 days to drive up, and then the rally part of it is 8 days. But they literally take you on the crappest roads they can find. So as I said, so Port Douglas, straight across, and then straight down the guts through the Birdsville Track in this. But I mean, it's a great cause. It's all for raising money for cancer research through the Cancer Council. Shitbox Rally's raised $40 million to date running the rally. It's insane. $40 million bucks towards cancer research. So really proud to be part of that. We're hoping to raise 15 grand. We're at 10. So we'll see.
People, link will be in the description to make some donations. Please do. And it not just when rally is going on, it'll be long after people can still make donations.
Oh, absolutely, you can make donations any time, but obviously the whole point's to try to raise as much stuff before we can depart.
Absolutely,
so we've got another 2 weeks before it's a week to drive up, so we've got 2 more weeks to get to 15 grand.
Well, I'll get this out next weekend. The food and everything they put up for you at the end of the day. You're not having to stock storage and all that sort of thing.
Are we still recording and all?
Yeah.
So the rally's incredibly well organised. There's about 250 cars that are doing it. There's support teams as well, so they've got like tyre triage, they've got mechanics to sort of help you, cable tie and duct tape shit back together as it falls off your car. Each night the camping's organised and catered for, so a lot of the local, CWA or football clubs or whatever else, they kind of all get on board and help out feeding the masses, because 250 cars, it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Coming into very small little towns, imagine 250 cars rocking into Birdsville, or 250 shit boxes to be more precise. I got my awesome.
I was going to say we've got to have.
Can I give it a blast? It's
going
to be loud, mate.
Please give us a blast on them.
You good?
Yep. Awesome stuff. Awesome. And and then what happens to the car?
Okay, so with the rally, there's 2 options. Okay, so the worst thing that can happen with this car is if you break down on the rally, you don't get your car back. It goes to scrap. So they call the local scrappy and they pick up the car, which would be tragic for this now, because as much as I thought it was the most horrific car when I started building it and all the rest, now that it's going good, it's kind of like grown on me, you know, it's so ridiculous that it's kind of cool again. So that would be the worst case scenario. A lot of the cars get auctioned off by Mannheim at the end of the auction, so you can pick up your very own shitbox for very little money, and that'll be down in Adelaide at the end of the auction.
Do people come in, they take a car that's already done to go on to the next?
They can,
cool.
absolutely. Or you can get yourself a cheap car that's been pretty well sorted. Because I mean, this car, everything's been done to it now. It had a recent roadworthy. It looks pretty crappy, but it's actually like completely, everything's been done on it. So they go to the auction, or you can buy back your car, which is what we're doing. So it's a couple of $100 and you can just buy back your car, and all the proceeds from all those things also go back to the Cancer Council.
Yeah, cool. All right, Jace, well, thank you very much for showing us about. It's, yeah, like I said, a bit different for the channel.
Yeah,
but
bit more backyard, Dave. But,
yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, well, great one to end on. Thanks very much. And yeah, like I say, people just get clicking away, find the council, well, find the art box.
Yeah,
link.
Team Artie Box on Instagram is the best way to find us.
That's right.
And in our bio, there's a link where you can make donations.
Great stuff. Yeah. Nice one. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.